Welcome back, everyone. For the do now, we are explaining what globalization means, what you think it means. It's got the word global in it, so we're talking about the whole world. Globalization means like the interconnectedness of the world, how countries around the world are connected. Today, we're going to be looking at how countries around the world are connected economically, how business is connected from one country to another, and how our products are made because very few products we own are actually made all within, like, say, Denver and sold within Denver. So this really started maybe about 100 years ago is really where it started picking up steam. Um, Before that, most products were made and sold inside a country, sometimes even within inside the state or just the town, the city. Very few products came from outside, and the ones that did were very expensive. And as a result, you are really constrained by what resources you had. If you didn't have that particular resource, you couldn't make that product, which means that people couldn't buy it. And I think food might be an easy way to think of this. You go back a couple hundred years ago, people in Colorado, like, we weren't eating bananas. Right? Bananas don't grow in Colorado. And they're very difficult to transport to Colorado without modern technology. So you can only have the resources and the products that can be made within your local community. It's the technology that's allowed us to do this. We are able to talk and connect to people around the world. We have refrigerators, we have planes, we have trains, we have all these things to ship goods wherever they need to be. Here's our definition of globalization: the increase in interaction between different countries, people, and businesses. On the Pear Deck today, you can describe globalization in your own words. Today, we're going to look at how global trade goes for a product, how it goes from step by step. And we're going to look at essentially 5 steps: research and development, collecting of resources, productions, distribution, and then the final selling of the product. So, why do we do it this way? Well, it gives us access to more stuff, right, like the bananas, but also more complex products too. It's cheaper to do it this way, and it gives us more freedom to buy what we want and live where we want and do what we want. The question is it worth it? Because it comes at a big cost. Environmental costs, usually it's very bad to the economy. There's some people who are very successful in this and some people who are not. Right? So this isn't a perfect system, but this is the system we use. So if we're making a product, the first step is what we call research and development. This is where they create or invent the product, any new technology that's needed with it. This tends to have a big impact on the country that it's doing this. It's very important because this is where highly educated people are creating and developing new things. This tends to be the wealthiest countries in the world. It's like the United States, Europe, Australia, Japan. These are the countries that are researching and developing new things, the highly educated and wealthy countries. Another Pear Deck question for you. Now the product has been designed, we need to get all the resources needed to make it. And this may not seem like a big deal, but a lot of our modern products require lots of different resources to make them work. So we're collecting resources from all over the earth. We need lots of different resources. They all need to be brought together, refined, and put into a position to make whatever product. This tends to be the poorest of countries. This tends to be really bad for your environment. It doesn't take a lot of skill. So people without education tend to do it, and they get paid very little. Rich countries are the ones who tend to buy the product. So the people who are destroying their environment, hurting their own people, getting paid next to nothing, rarely get to buy the final product. Here's some of the different materials we need to make a cell phone. You can see there's lots of different metals and elements and things. These are hard to get. Right? Aluminum, copper, cobalt. lithium. These are all metals. Yeah, you have to dig out of the ground. Um, People are doing it for, $1 a day, maybe, destroying their own health to get them. Now that the resources have been collected, they need to be turned into something. You need to start turning them into products and parts. This is where the factories come into place. You're starting to build the actual product, put the pieces together. Um, this tends to be like the average income countries, where the average worker get paid a little bit, um, but a lot of factories, not great conditions in the production of actually making the product. So this would be somewhere like China or India. The people don't get paid very well. It's usually bad for the environment, a lot of air pollution, but it makes the products for us. Now that the products are made, we have to distribute them. We have to get them to where they need to be. And so we rely on a global shipping network um, to be getting the products where they need to be. Most products you buy have been probably around the world. Like all the parts of your cell phone are coming from all over the world, sent to China, Taiwan to be put together, and then shipped all the way over here to the United States. Right? A lot of our products are just a global product. They're not made within the United States. Here's a map showing all the different shipping lanes throughout the ocean. Um, you can see a lot of them are going in and out of China, Japan, United States, Europe, and a lot of shipping going on. This makes it very easy for us to get our products very cheaply, but it tends to be bad for the environment. Once the final product is actually made, it tends to get sent back to the wealthy countries like the United States, Europe, Japan, Australia, where they get to buy the final product. The middle countries, sometimes they can buy them, those poor countries, rarely. Um, all this work to make a product that most people in the world aren't buying, just the wealthy countries. A few questions on the Pear Deck. You can pause as we go through them. At the end, if we have time, I'll hand back your competency. You can do any corrections or makeup work you need to do.